So we're getting ready for the mukbang. Is that how you say it, Keisha?
Mukbang.
The mukbang. It's my fault.
You got a paper plate?
Nope, I'm out.
Okay. Definitely not messing up no dishes.
Right here.
You want some chips or something to go with your burger?
Huh?
Said you want some chips or something to go with your burger?
I'm not gonna lie.
Alright. Can I get a piece of this cake to go?
Yeah. Jesus.
I don't want to eat it in front of you.
Girl, don't tell me. Do you know how much sweets and stuff was out there yesterday?
I also don't want the itis. We're doing good on time. It's not even 4 o'clock yet. Ready.
Sure.
So excited. Okay, so this is huge for me because I don't eat in front of people.
Illegal.
I mean, like, I don't bite into stuff in front of people. So, conquering fears, one bite at a time.
You got some pizza.
What are we talking about? Oh, yeah. Let me say my grace first.
We should say it on camera.
Say it out loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This is how we start the show.
Alrighty.
Lord, we thank you for this food that we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies. Anything in it to hurt or harm us, take it away. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Just Two Girls Who Work Together.
Hey.
Hey, y'all. So this is our first ever, say the word, Keisha, because I can't do it.
I have food in my mouth. Hold on. Mukbang.
Mukbang. I can never say the word. So what we are eating today is Burger of the King.
Should we explain to them what a mukbang is?
Okay, yeah, but we're eating Burger King. These are the Impossible Burgers.
Yeah.
We are trying to eat healthier, but decided.
Emphasis on trying. Because
Yeah.
you see what I got in front of me.
Yeah. So I'm just eating a burger. I'm not doing fried foods right now or sweets. So I have my Impossible Burger with my 100% blended fruit juice, no additives. And Keisha has all of that.
All the things. Okay, so
All of the things.
I brought this because I thought I was going to have a hangover after yesterday. But I didn't. But I wanted to stay hydrated anyway. So I got my body armor and my water. And I got my Sprite to go in my combo. Because I'm eating fries. I can't have a burger without fries, period. And then I brought snacks because I need to get rid of them before I start my new diets. So, I didn't know that she had already started a fast. I brought alcohol, I brought all the things. And she gonna tell me she can't have it, so I guess somebody gotta eat it.
Yeah, I've been holding out. Juneteenth was, food-wise, for me was a little difficult because we like went real down south with it. We
What
had
y'all have on the menu?
all of the things. So we had, huh?
So you didn't even make me a plate.
There's some wings in there.
I'm gonna get that cake too.
Right. So we had grilled wings, 2 different kinds. We had hamburgers, hot dogs, not catfish, white and fish fried, shrimp. We had shrimp and grits.
Oh, shrimp and grits. Y'all fancy.
Baked beans.
Who brings shrimp and grits to a barbecue?
The girl, the lady, shout out to Khadijah, because she cooked it. It was
really?
She hooked it up. So we had shrimp and grits, mac and cheese, baked beans with the meat in there, green beans.
The fact that you said with the meat in there, I feel like that's a given down south.
I mean, hey.
Or black people.
No worries.
I don't know if it's south or black people or both. I don't know.
Yeah. So we had potato salad, pasta salad, cucumber tomato salad. We had lemon cake. We had cookies.
Y'all threw down.
Yeah, I think we had some other type of sweets there, Rice Krispies, some other stuff there. Then we had all of the drinks and the waters that your heart can think of. But we had a really good time. But saying all of that, I really wanted that fish. And I really, really wanted some of the sweets, but I'm trying to hold out.
I'm proud of you, because I wouldn't have been able to.
I'm trying. So, if you don't know, I am not only trying to eat healthier or have better options, but I also am partaking in like a fast right now. So, just trying, y'all. My little bottle messed up because it was in the freezer. But anyways.
I'm proud of you.
Try hard. It's almost over though, because the first baby is going down.
Okay. So that's when we need to have our crab legs and stuff.
But back in crab legs now.
Oh.
Anyways, moving on. So tell them what a mukbang is.
Okay, so I have like the official, like, I mean, it's not official, it's Wikipedia, you know. But anyways, a mukbang is an online audio-visual broadcast in which a host consumes large quantities of food while interacting with the audience. As you can see, and I'm large about this, but we consuming food, so.
And for my people, because I know, don't come for me, because I know we doing the blackout right now. I've been holding strong, check with Burger King, make sure we good there. My particular Burger King is straight, we good. Allied business, you know, we good.
Right.
I'm still holding strong to the blackout. Hope y'all are doing the same. We still got until July the 7th. Stay strong, support your local businesses, support allied businesses as well that support us. And so keep strong.
Yeah.
Buy
black.
That's
all day, every day.
Every day. So we're gonna jump right into it, y'all. Today, outside of us eating food or consuming food in front of you all, we're gonna talk about, and this is why we have this on. Keisha has our MTV shirt on, and I have 80's baby, 90's made me. Is because this is one of our favorite. And sorry, we got ahead of ourselves. It's Music Mondays.
It is Music Monday.
Music Monday.
And we didn't introduce ourselves either, did we? Or did you say my name?
No, because they know who we are by now. I hope it's episode 4.
They be assuming. We might have new co-workers. You don't know.
Hey, co-workers. Well, if you don't know who we are, I'm Terica.
And I'm Keisha.
And yeah, we're just two girls who work together. Anyways, shout out to Kroger's for this water. Why black folks always put an S on everything? Kroger's. It's Kroger.
Right, Sonic's head ass nigga.
Walmart's. I ain't never heard of that one, but
you just made that one up.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't. Is that Burger King? It looks like ketchup.
That's ketchup. I got some sweet baby rays in it. Sweet baby rays.
I'll be fine.
Okay, moving on.
Fine.
So we're gonna talk about today. I love the 90's.
Yeah, I love the 90's.
Who doesn't love the 90's?
Little kids on TikTok nowadays, they don't know nothing about it.
Disrespectful, just disrespectful.
But yeah, we're gonna talk about all the amazing things that came from the 90's. I feel like so rude because I'm like talking and I'm eating.
It feels rude.
I'm so sorry.
But
yeah,
Music Monday version of We Love the 90's.
Yeah, so it's a given. We're only talking about music. We're talking about, you know, the superstars that spawned from the 90's. Talking about the heavy hitters that were influential during the 90's. All that good stuff, you know? Anything else?
Well,
You want to talk about some hits?
okay. All right, so jumping right in. I think Keisha and I mutually agree there are many decades that we enjoy music from. However, the 90s mutually is the decade that we both enjoy. And the reason being is because we felt like in the 90s, what you had was you had all of that influence from the 70s and 80s and beyond. And that music was more like the architect or the blueprint, right? But what you saw in the 90s is you saw that generation take all those things and create something new. It was a great and perfect blend and fusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think
hip hop in there.
Mm-hmm. I think what we're seeing 2010 and beyond, or 2000s and beyond, you did see some innovation. It was a lot of innovation in the 2000s, but late 2000s, what you started to see was people just kind of doing the same thing. It was no like creativity.
Sample after sample.
A lot of, well, I mean, you had sampling in the 90s, but
but it's like you said, it lacks creativity to me.
Yeah.
In certain situations with certain people.
Now we both mutually agree that when we talk about that era really started, that was mostly like, to me, when you got to about 2008, 9, beyond, maybe 2010, I would say, that's when I started seeing like a lot of the change with the creativity. So,
gotcha.
But yeah, I think we mutually agree with the 90s. It was fresh. You had, you had so many guy groups, female groups.
You had options. It wasn't just one person that was doing it big. Like you could listen to a lot of people.
And everybody, like, it was no one person that reigned supreme over other people.
Right.
Everybody we all respected
R&B and hip hop.
Absolutely. And I mean, one of my favorite parts of the 90s is male singers. I mean, there were so many different male singers during the time. You had options of who you wanted.
For me, it was the groups. I like the groups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like now, though, you don't have options for things.
You don't.
You don't. And I mean, there are people that do music, and we listen to independent artists and like that. But on the mainstream level, it's very, very thin. Slim pickings for a lot of stuff. Especially
for the groups nowadays. Like, I'm trying to think of a male group that's hot right now, and nothing is coming to mind at all.
Yeah. So. And
even like a female group, nothing is coming up. I mean, Chloe and Halle, they're a duo.
I like them.
I love them. But I guess technically they're not a group because they're a duo, right? Mm-hmm. So I can.
But, they're a duo, but I think they can be nominated for Best Group.
Okay. But yeah, other than that, I can't think of any groups that are popping right now.
Yeah, I can't either.
That's sad.
I mean, it's very sad, but I think that's...
Why do you think that is?
First of all, I mean, if you know music or you don't, even if you saw Making the Band, DAVAMD.
I love that show.
I'm back and I'm hitting the raw.
CHOP.
Mysterious as mysterious can get.
Die
line, and die line. Period.
Man, bring Making the Man back, Diddy.
Shout out to
please, pretty please.
I love that Danny Kane album, that first one. I loved it.
Didn't listen to it.
It was great. It's great. Don. Anyways, moving on. Bands are hard or difficult to manage. A friend of mine has been trying to do this for a while. What you often have with bands, you took my napkin. It's okay. What you often have is like you got these multiple personalities. If everybody doesn't come together with the same vision or idea, it's hard to keep them together. Like if somebody's motive is to be a solo star, it's easy for somebody to come in their ear and separate that. Oh, we also forgot, I mean, even though they're not maybe as popular, June's Diary is still together. I mean, yeah, they're still together.
I've never listened to a song by them. Which is weird because I watched the show.
I didn't. Yeah, I did.
I watched the show, but I didn't listen to the music. Disconnect there. But yeah, they're really good. They can sing. Shout out to Kelly for putting that together.
I don't like this.
And all the other people. You know, like what?
Get some phone, dude, following this.
Yeah, I can multitask, but certain things I just can't. And I feel like talking and eating is just dangerous for me. Like I'm waiting for the second that I'm gonna bite my tongue.
Well, I just dropped something like on my chin, and so for those of you that are at home, please don't think that I'm trifling like that.
And I feel like I keep having to talk with my mouth full to keep the conversation going.
I mean, yeah. Anyways, moving on. I think we can start here though. Like artists that are from the 90s that we feel like are still thriving now.
Usher Raymond. He will never go out of style.
Yeah.
Ever. What are you about to say about Usher Raymond? Okay, I was about to say. Don't me coming for him.
He's the king.
Yes.
The king. So for me, I always tell people there's like 5 people in my mind.
Okay. Run it.
That, you know, are consistent and can decade after decade or time after time, doesn't matter what the music does, they can evolve.
Who are they?
So for me, you have Mariah Carey.
Okay.
Think about it.
Keep going, Mariah.
You have Mary J. Blige.
Okay.
You have Sean Papa Diddy Pop Combs.
You consider him an artist. Okay,
I mean,
continue.
he got albums, you might as well.
Alrighty, continue.
I will say Robert Kelly. I mean, it's true.
He canceled, but continue.
Okay. Jennifer Lopez.
That's your 5?
Yeah, I think that's my 5. And then I feel like I'm missing somebody that I always often say. And I think my other person was Missy.
Okay.
So it's 6 actually. I think.
Okay, so yeah, I agree with Missy. I agree with Mariah. I'm on the fence about.
We forgot about Snoop Dogg.
That's what
Snoop.
I was about to say him because I was like,
Snoop.
how are you gonna say Diddy and not say Snoop?
Snoop was in my list. I forgot. Snoop is up. Well, I say Diddy because of the fact that whether he has put out solo albums or produced or whatever, he's evolved. I mean, hell, we might as well put Jermaine Dupri in that category too. Like consistent.
Well, I was thinking like just talking about artists right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just artists. So my 5 from the 90s that are still going it'll be, like I said, Usher. I agree with Snoop. Mm-hmm. I agree with Mary. Does Beyonce count? Because she was in Destiny's Child.
That's different for me.
Yeah, I was just about to say, because I feel like Beyonce's 2000. She's not 90s.
Yeah.
But she was.
It was. I mean, it was 90s. I mean, 97, 98. But
Right.
I'm talking about like comparing her career to Mary's. When Mary coming out early 90s, beginning of 90s, and still almost 30 years later.
Right. But I'm saying, like, I'm just thinking in general, as far as longevity, and not only longevity, but still like being poppin' and selling records and still going on tour. I feel like she has to be in there.
That might be your list.
So yeah, what did I say again? Usher, Snoop, Beyonce. Maybe we're just gonna leave it at 3 because we'd be here forever trying to figure out 5.
No, but I think there's a select group that has been able to recreate themselves time after time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't get old.
Right.
They brought something new and fresh to the scene when they came on, but they've been able to like take what's new and keep building.
Right.
Right.
And reinvent themselves
Absolutely.
for generations, because like you have some people that don't even know Snoop Dogg from the Death Row time.
No, just a lot of kids.
They don't. They know him as
Uncle Snoop.
I was just about to say Uncle Snoop or like the older brother Wiz. So
they don't know anything else outside of that.
Right.
So yeah, I mean those are some of the main reasons. I think of course you got artists from all time spans. I mean we can talk about Ron Isley, who's been able to reinvent himself with the help of Robert and others.
Good old Robert.
You have Charlie Wilson, who's also done the same. But I think out of the 90s, you saw these artists reinvent over and over and again. And I think before that time, the only other artists I can think, and I could be wrong, correct me, you saw Patti LaBelle do that, Aretha did that, reinventing themselves during their time span. So Gladys Knight as well. And I'm sure there's more males that we're missing as well. But those people have been able to just reinvent themselves over and over again.
Yeah.
So out of the 90s, when we think about it, like outside of people that have been able to reinvent themselves, what were some of our favorite music moments out of the 90s?
I feel like when you said that, being from the South, I automatically went to Outkast.
Oh yeah.
Outkast. Okay, so my first like moment when I knew like who Outkast was. So for those of you that don't know, we're 30 in our early 30s. I'm 30, 31. And like we were kids in the 90s, like babies. So by the time I was old enough to like kind of know what was going on, like 5, 6, it was Rosa Parks. I remember I went to Alabama.
Don't we a little bit older than Rosa Parks?
6, 7. Rosa Parks?
I think we was a little bit older.
Older for Rosa Parks?
I think we were a little bit older.
You want to put money on it?
I think I might have been like 7 or 8.
Oh, okay, you're right, 98.
Yeah, I was like 7 because I remember I was in elementary.
Okay. But yeah, still, like, that was my first, like,
introduction to
them, Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my first introduction to them, I had an older brother. So, and that was big on music, especially like that era of music, like gangsta rap, all of that. And so my first recollection is Southern Playlistic.
Okay.
I mean, I just remember as a child being in the car, him leaning back, driving the car, and playing that music. You know, so that was my childhood. Hearing them, listening to gangsta rap. I remember listening to MC8 with him and all those different type of artists. So my first recollection of them was a little bit earlier.
Yeah. And then like going into like the female R&B lane, I remember my parents got me cassette tapes when I was little because they didn't trust me CD. And my first cassette tapes were TLC, Crazy Sexy Cool. And
whoa. You bring up Crazy Sexy Cool. Let's talk about. Do y'all remember how huge TLC was? Like how big that album was. I remember Digging used to come on every hour on the album The Box. Like it was huge. TLC was huge. They were everywhere. It was almost, even though like Lisa, what she did, like burning the house down was like horrible. It was almost like it was the biggest thing in the world because it was Lisa Left-Eye Lopez. Like it was a huge, like they were at their peak. They were insanely huge band, but I digress.
Yeah, that was my first one, and then Brandy, I want to say her first album.
Yeah.
So I was like real big on Brandy, Monica, and then also the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. My mom used to listen all the time. So I remember that.
My mama too. Yeah, I think those were my Brandy's. I had her on tape on the remix before Queen Latifah is coming in to do her verse. It's a part, and I swear I thought she was saying TT at the beginning, and I thought that was me, and I was like, yo, I was such a child.
I love it.
I had that one. My first ever cassette was Escape's first album, Coming At You. And I remember listening to them and learning Tonight. And then also learning Is My Living in Vain, their version of it. But yeah, that was like, those were my first 2 tapes that I ever had.
Nice.
And then I had, then when I got a little bit older, 97, I got My Way. That was like my first little.
I still have my Way tape. I love Usher.
Yeah, Rain Man. Love you.
Yes.
We love you.
Love you. What else?
Yeah.
I feel like Jodeci was big.
Are those people? So I guess the question is like, what are things of the 90s music-wise that stick out to you that are like moments? I know mine, but yeah.
Like moments in like pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I'm thinking about just
related to music though.
Yeah. You go first.
Okay. So big moments for me. One, I'm not going to go in any particular order. So big moments for me were Michael Jackson's History album when they dropped and he had the DVD that came along with it. Y'all, I was terrified of that freaking the intro with him like with the military behind him, and I didn't understand all of it until years later, like the whole military and why he had them behind him and what it was showing. But that crap freaked me out. And also that was doing it at the same time like with Scream, like that was huge.
I love Scream.
Yep, Mike was back and hotter than ever, and Janet was like, it's nasty.
It's just not what I wanted.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I have Starburst to say today. Healthy, nutritious milk.
Are you mixing them?
No, what do you mean mixing? No.
Okay.
I'm not eating it out of the bag. So what if somebody wanted to share later?
Who's here?
I mean, I could be with somebody else later.
That's true. Anyways, moving on. So you have Scream. When that video dropped, I mean, people went crazy. It was the first time we saw Michael and Janet together performing. So that's big in my memory. Also, I was a huge Puff Daddy fan. I still am, but I'm a even more bigger Death Row fan.
Shiny suit?
I did not. I just could do the moves.
I had a purple shiny suit and I had the purple glasses.
Shiny shoe man. No, I was a huge Death Row fan, y'all. When I'm telling y'all, I was like, you couldn't tell me I wasn't West Side repping with Pac. And
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I was a huge Death Row fan.
Wow.
Just I don't know, something about gangster music, but I remember that era of like the West Coast.
Yeah.
What was not really a beef, but
East Coast, West Coast, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that whole time period. I remember everything that happened and transpired during that time. So that all of that plays big, like music related. Biggie's death, Pac's death. Remembering that time, those things stick out to me of the 90s when we talk about music.
Yeah.
Then I also think about I was a big, and Keisha, we talk about this, big music video watcher. Not like, oh, the videos just come on. No, like literally my summer consisted of, when I didn't have summer camp, would consist of
BET all day.
I would have 32, 33, 34, and I would just go back and forth.
And that's VH1, BET, and MTV for those that don't know.
In Nashville, that's what it was. And so I would just go back and forth all day long, watching these videos every single day.
Trying to learn choreography.
Seriously, the Boom Boom Cat 1-2 step, I was learning it all single day. And so that was like huge in my childhood. It's so huge that even now, like the chord of a song, the first chord can strike to a song, and I can tell you what video it is or what song because I watched it so much. So yeah, those are just a few of my bigger memories of like music related, I believe.
Yeah, my memory is trash, so like, I don't know. Cause I feel like if I talk about things from the 90s, it's not from like me experiencing it in the 90s. It's from me like watching it as I got older. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. My memory is a little bit different, and it could be because just I can remember stuff very vividly. Like my mom says all the time, she was like, "How do you remember that, girl?" But I do.
For me, it depends on the situation.
Yeah, I can remember it because I like songs and artists take me to a certain point in time, and I can remember what I was doing. So yeah, it's always like that for me.
I feel like whenever in the 90s, I was like super young. So like for me, I can definitely give you like some moments in pop culture from like 2000 and up. But that 90 to 2000, I don't know, bro.
I can remember when like the hairstyles and the way that we dress accompanied the music. I can remember
the
all
90s
that.
was lit. I wish I was an adult in the 90s. Like looking back, freaking, oh my god.
It would have been so lit. So lit. I would have been down there living my best life with them.
Right. You wouldn't have to worry about no social media.
You caught.
You could throw that ass in a circle with no worries.
Nobody gonna catch me.
Nobody. I don't want it. I don't want all that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my burger was cool. Anyways, so moving on.
Moving right along.
Right on.
To
What? You sure, really?
You wanna talk about trends that are like coming back?
Everything. If I look
upset about it.
I am, because
Why?
like listen, I do not mind samples. Like I love samples, and I think like they enhance the music, especially like if you like it's smart tactics on behalf of the artist. Like a sample, if you know it was a hit, then it's more than likely it's gonna catch people's ear.
It'd be a hit now.
Yeah, you know that. However, I felt like we just skipped a whole bunch of years and just started sampling stuff. Like how we get to the 90s, like late 2000s already. Like,
I feel like there needs to be a rule. Because when I hear songs being sampled from like my childhood, it makes me feel some type of way. It makes me feel old, and I know I'm not old.
I feel like it's too early.
I do too. I feel like, I don't want to say if the person is alive, you can't sample it, but I kind of do want to say that.
But Keisha, don't, at the same time, we kind of wrong, because think about how it was in the 90s. Like, Puff was sampling, Dre was sampling, you know. And,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with sampling.
But I'm saying, to think about how they felt, like the people that grew up with them, or that their parents.
But were they sampling stuff from less than 20 years ago, though?
Yeah.
What were they sampling? Give me a song.
Hold on, let me think. So you got Puff was doing the Diana Ross, I'm coming. That song was like
When did that come out?
That had to be like the 70s, 80s. That had to be like the 70s or the 80s, maybe. Bring hits from the 80s. Yeah. The man said it.
Yeah, you're right. He did say
I mean, they was doing it. I mean, Dre was sampling the G-Funk era.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were doing it, but I guess the difference is it sounded original. Like,
yeah, because they put their own flavor on it.
Yeah, because when I listen to like Let Me Ride, it don't sound like the original George Clinton Let Me Ride. You know what I'm saying? It don't part of it. It don't sound like that. It sound like it's fresh.
Interesting.
Yeah, when I listen to Puff sampling those tracks, All About the Benjamins is a sample. Like, it don't sound like the original songs. These songs that they
were actually like creative with their samples. The samples nowadays is literally just,
just
the song in the background.
It's just a song.
Yeah, or slow down.
I was like, okay, so I'm just not supposed to know that's fabulous. So it's
right.
Okay, I'm just supposed to just act like the song. But you know, shout out to, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like to Keisha's point, like we do understand it's a smart tactic on the end of the producer and the writer and the artist.
I just feel like it's a right and a wrong way to sample.
Yeah.
And that's the issue, ultimately.
Yeah. So trends. Outside of the music, we definitely know the hairstyles have come back.
Yes.
As y'all see, we used to call these Brandy braids. Brandy had our own hairstyles. You know, we call them Brandy braids, but then box braids or, you know.
Overalls are back.
Been back for a while. What are some other things that are back?
I feel like, what's that shoe called? The dad shoe.
The dad shoe?
Was that 90s or early 2000s?
What is the dad shoe? The one they grill in?
No, not the Grill Masters.
The Grill Master 3000.
No, not them. You know the bulky white shoes, like the K-Swiss, the Fila's,
the Nikes, the one that got the blue check on the side.
Maybe.
I call them the pedophile 3s.
Stop it. Yeah, they're back.
If somebody don't have on them, or them brown sandals that they stepping on the back, I'm skeptical about your food at the grill out.
Not forget about threes though. I'm done.
Stepmaster 3000.
I was not ready for that. I wasn't ready.
Okay. We're gonna have to figure out how to give y'all a picture of these shoes because y'all know what I'm talking about.
Right.
With the little short socks.
No, you gotta have, you know how when they on the grill, they have the long socks and long Nike socks?
Anyways, moving on, Keisha. Trends. I'm sure there's a lot, but I can't think of it.
I can't think of nothing right now. I can't do more than one thing at once, clearly. So we talked about people that are still in the game now, but who do you think were the most influential people in the 90s?
That's a hard one.
Like most influential.
Yup. Okay, listen. Let me go ahead and say this.
I hope you're not about to say what I think you're about to say.
I am. I'm going there. With all respect, I'm going to say this. I believe that Kim, Foxy, Trina, what we see now is just a spin-off of them. And these female artists, I mean, the trash talking, the dirty talk that Trina did, that's all you hear now on the radio. Kim and Foxy, it's a mixture of the two of them.
And their fashion.
Yeah, and the fashion. I mean, that's what you see. Right. I think they're most influential. That's what those are the three that are at the top of my mind. Those three, they're probably very influential when it comes to women in hip hop. And even some of the R&B females are talking very like.
They are.
Yeah, talking their talk.
Real nasty.
What about you? We gotta definitely say Usher too.
Yeah, we do. We have to say Usher because you know Chris Brown pays homage to him.
I'm not gonna say it because we on the thing and I love him.
No, go ahead and say it. You say it every time I bring him up. Just say it. You know you want to. Thank you.
You're welcome. Because I love him, but I don't. It's just a reaction.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't say it though, because you always say it.
Nope. But those of you that know me, you know what I'm saying in my head.
Right. I'm trying to think like female R&B. I feel like Mary J. Blige.
Oh yeah, man.
Because you have
Keisha
Cole,
K. Michelle.
Yes, like that whole little group of women that be crying in the track.
Ooh.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it at all, because we need that. Cause we be crying with y'all.
Yeah.
Every time we sing the song. Right. That's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, I know it's more. I mean, but
what about hip hop wise?
Hip hop. Okay, so let's talk about that. I think Snoop birthed a whole.
Wiz is his son.
I think people were influenced by him. I think he influenced the culture of being so open that being open with,
I feel like Bone Thugs and Harmony, they brought the fast rapping. Who was rapping fast before them? Was it him? I mean them? I said him like it's one person. I think it was
them, and then you got.
And then Twista. Came later.
Yeah, Twista was 96. Yeah, Twista was 96. But to me that's a different vibe a little bit, even though they sound very similar. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But that harmony in your music like that as a rapper, I think they helped to that undertone of that in the 90s. We know that there were artists before, but I feel like they took it to another level in popularizing.
Right. And then also like in the 90s, I think that's where we first started seeing R&B and hip hop come together.
That marriage. Yeah, that marriage of R&B and hip hop.
And like that became big because now you can't hear a lot of like top 100 songs without a catchy hook sang on it.
I think that's the other thing about the 90s. It did birth that marriage between the two.
Definitely.
You saw that, and I think a lot of people were uncomfortable with it in the 90s because it was unfamiliar.
Right, because it was like two separate things. But now it's almost as if like you can't have hip hop without R&B.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how I feel about that because I like it all, but then they're their own things. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I hate it when Spotify be putting shit in playlists that don't fit, and it just
that's why you need to listen to Tidal.
I guess me and Spotify been together for 10 years though.
I've been with them too, but I'm on Tidal.
I'm gonna have to check it out, but yeah. Anyways,
but yeah, moving on. I think you saw many different births, whether it's like producers that we see now that mimic a lot of the super producers from the 90s.
Ooh.
So think about it. Darkchild is a blueprint for many of the producers now. You got.
I was thinking Timbaland.
Oh no, it's gonna go. Yeah, Tim. You got Swiss. I think that the day of the super producer. It's funny to me. I think the idea of the super producer, the only person that we have really right now is Hitmaker, right?
Hitmaker.
That could be considered a super producer, maybe.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really pay attention to producers now.
Hitmaker.
I just like their little tags at the beginning of songs.
Okay, Jizzy make another one. Some video.
Take it, fuck these things up. That's another one. Mike Will made it.
That's a bit of hit boy, cause I got all the hit boy. 66666. But yeah, you got a lot of producers there too that have been, that you can hear their influence in these younger producers and writers. So that's that on that.
That's that on that. Period.
Don't have Keisha come to our videos be talking about, they taking my stuff. What up, Big Bang Keisha? What's up?
Right.
We love you, by the way.
Yes, we do. Light skin Keisha.
What's up, Van
I just
Gogh?
want to say thank you because now when I introduce myself to people, they call me dark skin Keisha. Thanks. Anyways.
Big Bang Keisha.
And our next segment is what do you think makes that era special? The 90s.
I think we said it. And we actually didn't get into pop or country because, that was the thing. To me, that's the thing that made it so special. It wasn't like, it was just like every genre was popping during that time. Like, you could look on the Hot 100 charts and you would see every genre on there. Whether,
right.
I remember how big or how huge LeAnn Rimes, Shania Twain,
Garth
Brooks, all these people.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
At the same time were on the billboards, as well as you had R&B, you had hip hop and rap, and you had all genres, right? And pop became not just a sound of music, but it was what was popular at the time, and it was all genres, right?
It was a melting pot.
To me, that's what made the 90s so special. You could hear anything on one station at any time. That's what stuck out to me about the 90s.
And I feel like music was actually more of an experience back then.
Yeah.
When something dropped, you had to get off your ass, go to the store, buy it. Yep. And then sometimes, I like going to the music stores and just listening to the music.
You remember Tower?
Yes, I remember. All them little stores where you would go in, put the little headphones in, choose the song.
Yep.
And you don't have that.
It was an experience.
Now. Right.
Yeah. It was an experience because and I think we've talked about this, the difference between today's stars, because there's so much accessibility to them. In the 90s and back, you didn't have that accessibility to superstars. That's what made them a star.
You didn't know. Every now and then you knew about who was dating who, but you only knew if it was in a magazine or a tabloid or something. You didn't know what they were eating for breakfast.
They went all on the ground.
Right. There was no ground.
All on your Twitter.
Right. All in the videos.
Doing the TikToks.
wasn't none of that. Like, if you wanted to see your favorite artist, you had to like catch them on a special on TV, watch their video, or go to a concert. Like, that was it.
Yeah, and it was actually a time where, to Keisha's point, you know, there was a build up around the album, the videos. Like, there was this big play on
the
this
big machine,
the artist, you know, and the build up behind it. And granted, a lot of people have found liberation behind getting away from the big machines. Like
artists true artists,
they found liberation. However, the other things that came with having the big machine, and I think some artists are still doing it, to
a certain degree,
but I felt like it was just, you anticipated the album, the build up. Even now, I was talking with another friend of mine with the singles. I've been noticing that like singles will come out and it'll take them months before they got a video out.
Right.
Like, they used to go hand in hand.
Yeah, because nobody watches videos now. But like, I feel back then you would drop a single, the video is out with that day because you wanted it in rotation on TV, on MTV, BET, VH1, all that.
Yeah.
It's a different day and age now.
Absolutely. Which, I mean, understandable. Times have changed and we have to evolve with the times. But the experience, the memories that you have with these songs and these artists are just different.
Yeah, they are.
It's a different time.
And now sometimes people don't even drop singles. They just drop a whole album.
Ooh, boom.
Go and be Beyonce. Just drop shit.
You know what? It's 12 o'clock in the morning. Here we go.
Right. I'll never forget that. Never forget that. I went, took a shower, came back, Beyonce had an album, and I was like, what the fuck? What did I miss? Why didn't she tell me about this?
Right. How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
But I think overall with the 90s, like we said, for me, it was just the combination of, you could have all these different types of genre on Billboard at one time, and there was respect for the music. And you know, they were influenced by each other. It was just a friendly, good competition that you saw. And when you went to the award shows, now granted, award shows have gotten better about identifying genres of music. They still get it wrong.
Let's talk about that.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Have
you heard about that? How like some people are dropping urban from classifications for black music?
I mean, look what they did. What the hell is traditional R&B? Like, okay, traditional R&B, like what we know. Like, what is
I don't know.
Like a few years ago, I think at the Grammys, when they had like Chris Brown in the same category with like Tamia and Layla Hathaway and Toni Braxton. What?
What?
Chris ain't been singing R&B like that since for a while.
And I feel like at this point, Chris is pop. But
you know how I feel about that word.
Right. Let's talk about that. Okay, so pop stands for what's popular now.
Yeah.
But I feel like...
But when most people that are not music heads, when they hear the word pop, they think bubblegum pop, they think white, they think Billboard Top 100, they think Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake,
Backstreet Boys, Christina, all that.
That's what they think, but it's just, the term is just whatever's popular. It's popular.
Right now. Yeah, and I feel like there are certain artists that have just reached a level that anything they drop is just gonna be pop. It's gonna be straight pop.
Do we?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. But I do think that, I said all that to say, I think award shows have gotten better at identifying. But in the 90s, what you saw is you just had, even though the award shows were hours long, like it was super long, they still had categories that everyone could fit in, and they made sense. They made a lot of sense. Now I feel like they merged a lot of stuff or changed the titles to stuff. They have people in certain categories.
I feel like the issue is a lot of things sound alike. Like you even got country sounding like rap now.
Thank you, Nelly.
Shout out to Nelly. But everything is starting to sound the same. You have some of the elements from hip hop and country. You got some rock elements in hip hop sometimes. Like it's literally like become a fusion, and it's hard to separate them. So yeah, that's interesting too. I feel like everything is coming together. Pretty soon there will be no such thing as a genre.
know how I feel about that one. But yeah, the 90s for us was just a good time. Great for music. It's good to see a lot of those artists still around, still having their presence felt. Their influence is known. And it's good to have that because I feel like we need that in today's music.
We do. Speaking of, did you hear Usher's new track that he dropped last week?
Which one?
I forgot what it's called, but it was on Songwin. Do you watch Songwin? You should watch it. It's basically a show where like songwriters.
I know about the show. It's Estadine on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the finale was Usher, and it's a pretty good song.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta go listen to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Don't Waste My Time, and I love Sex Beat. So
yeah, this is he got Tyga on it.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead.
I was just about to say, like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like,
but I actually like Tyga. I do.
Yeah, he has his moments with me.
Tyga was probably one of the hardest rappers on Young Money Cash Money. Especially, he's real good. He's a good.
I mean,
rapper.
how many of them are still around now?
That's not the conversation. We said rappers. We said good rap.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it happens.
He's good. He's definitely good because he's still around.
Well, that don't mean he's good. That just means he was smart about how he moved.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, he was good though.
Yeah, alright.
Anyways, wrapping this thing on up, guys. This was our segment about I Love the 90s. We have a lot more that we definitely could talk about. But just wanted to have a freestyle with you guys. Mukbang is they call it with you guys. But we will be back next week with another episode of Just Two Girls Who Work Together.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Like, share, subscribe.
Thank you. I was just going to say that. Like, share, subscribe.
All that good stuff. We'll have better food next time.
Yeah. Better food next time. Sorry.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.